everybody? It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they square off against the #1 pick, Kyler Murray, and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by Kyler Murray, the #1 overall pick in April's draft, and also the Heisman Trophy winner out of Oklahoma.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. First offensive series forthcoming. Deshaun Jackson, wide receiver that certainly needs no introduction in this league.
He's truly one of those don't blink guys, because as soon as you do, he's past you and in the end zone and doesn't mind letting you know about it too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Tight down. There you go.
Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Sheldon Richardson. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he's going to go down again. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait till the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Let's meet the offense. Greg Robinson. Very, very talented.
What a man to set your offensive line with. Greg Robinson can do it all. Tremendous athleticism, great strength, just coming into his own.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack.
King!
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line.
Here we go.
And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. So many connections between the two quarterbacks in this game, Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. Both Heisman Trophy winners. Obviously, you've got the Oklahoma connection. Both #1 overall picks. Both also won a state title in high school in the state of Texas, and neither guy is a very tall quarterback. Baker Mayfield at 6'1", Kyler Murray just at 5'10". Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20, this one over 30. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Running from the gun, Johnson. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 19 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal. And this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
He'll get 3 up to midfield. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
58.
Here's Murray from midfield. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And you can see they've already clinched the AFC North. As it stands, of course, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend. But we always talk about coaches saying we want to win that division, and that's the key thing, right?
You're exactly right. Win the division. That's where it all starts. That's how you construct your team each and every year. How are we going to win our division? What's it going to take? What type of team do we need to have? Then once you get that accomplished, you're hosting the first round. You're hosting the wild card. So you tell your fans, come on out and support us here. Let's use this as a springboard for a deep run.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw it. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Over the middle to Beckham. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Throwing is Murray on third down. And this is caught by Jackson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. The young buck finding the veteran there. There is 14 years separating Kyler Murray and Larry Fitzgerald. Murray turning 22 back on August 7th. And on August 31st, Larry Fitzgerald turned 36. But these two guys like each other, and it shows on the field. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. First down, Murray. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. He's going to have the first down past the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that, and we've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering it.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Sheldon Richardson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Murray with a 3rd and long. Completing it to the right side, Johnson.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Flush to his right, and he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Here's Mayfield. Caught left side. It's Beckham. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running
pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. To throw, Mayfield. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Joseph now to kick this one away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching has been Baker Mayfield.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Mayfield down to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll run on first down. Hunt. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Murray. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Here's Murray. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Olivier Vernon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First target, first catch, and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To throw on 3rd down, Murray. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Myles Garrett getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And down to the 16-yard line. 36 yards on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
You remember me? Let's go, baby. What's that? What's that?
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Kareem Hunt hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 28-0. Joseph now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Before this season started, Johnson said this new offensive system would allow him to really be effective in the passing game. He actually likened it to 2016 when he had almost 900 receiving yards. He said one of his goals is to become the third player in league history to hit 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in the same season. They also noted that he's really comfortable in this scheme. It's like his college days at Northern Iowa when he was part of a team that based out of a shotgun with a running quarterback. 11 more on that one and another first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 42-yard line. Here's Murray. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
To try again after the sack. Murray, screenplay, Johnson. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Quick slant there gets him the first down, 6 yards on the play.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Fitzgerald hauling it in from Murray. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Now Murray again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morris Claiborne. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct, and what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now. But later, when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run again with Hunt. Powering forward. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, it's Hunt. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And they take a knee. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right?